Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another Young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Rashmi Kundu. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Rashmi.
Good evening, everyone, and good morning to you, sir. And thank you for inviting me to this Vidped episode. I'm really grateful to be given a platform to speak and to be given the freedom to speak on anything that I want to. And I'll start with this. So I don't know if you remember, sir, a couple of maybe last month that you had posted about students taking a gap year,
Yes,
and that's
I
when
yes, I remember it very well because in my youth, such a concept we didn't even dream of. Though we may not be studying hard, we couldn't, nobody would allow us to take a gap year. You had to just stay there. Whether you were studying or not, that was another matter. So continue, please.
yes, so that's how I had taken a gap year sometime in couple of years back, and that's how and I had shared my experience in that under that post, and that's how we connected. So here in this Vidped talk, oh, I forgot. I haven't introduced myself. So as Sir said, my name is Rashmi, and by training, I am an economist. I have a master's and a bachelor's and a master's degree in economics, and currently I am working with a research foundation called the Center for Social and Economic Progress here in New Delhi, India, and in CSEP. My work mostly is under the domain of urban economics. Uh, and I will say that the path to being a economics researcher has been, for the lack of a better word, very serendipitous for me. I did not initially had any aim to or any idea or ambition to become a.
Rashmi, let's be honest. You can just say, I stumbled through life.
Yes, yes, I stumbled through life.
Why use such fancy words as serendipitous, which are, sound as if it's some great plan? You can say, I'm a successful stumbler. And many of
Maybe
us
not a
are.
very success. I like the word serendipitous because it feels like it's something nice. But yes,
Yes.
I'm a not very successful stumbler. Like I keep stumbling, and I honestly don't know what I'm going to do in the future.
Okay.
So yeah. So in this video, I wanted to talk about two main things. One was how I stumbled and how I came up to this. Because to give a brief history of not history, to give a brief about my life. I have grown up in Kolkata. I did my schooling there, and like many Bengali kids, my parents also wanted me to study medicine. So my whole life, I was told that you have to become a doctor. I was never given a choice. So uh, I never was given a chance to think about what to do in life. But then I realized 10th class, 11th, 12th happened, and I realized I completely hate physics and chemistry. And so then when after my board exams, I initially thought that I will do a maths honors, but looked at the syllabus, scared me a little bit. And and then out of just wanted to learn something new, and maybe it was a good alternative to do to maths. So I took up economics honors again in Calcutta University, in one of the colleges there. Then, so most of my peers there were already familiar with the economics concept, having studied it in 11th, 12th. But for me, I was starting from the very beginning. And uh, it was difficult, but it was exciting. And I learned I as I started learning about more about the subject, it my interest kind of increased, and throughout my undergrad, it was always I may not have like really enjoyed studying a lot of subjects in under economics, like maybe the economic history, which I thought that was very boring. And surprisingly, I was also not very comfortable with econometrics. But overall, economics held a very special place in my heart. And I thought that I should definitely do a master's. But I also realized the fact that in Kolkata, there were not many jobs, and I wanted to move out of the city. So I decided that I'll do my master's somewhere outside Kolkata in probably other colleges which give better placements, because I had even during undergrad I used to pursue like I had done a couple of internships through which I got through college only. Most of them were content writing, unpaid. Like we would be given certificates in the end. So those were the experiences that I had, work experiences. So, but right after my graduation, when I appeared for the entrance test for the various master's programs, I ended up not getting through. So that was a difficult decision for me at that point as a 21-year-old, that do I enroll myself in a master's program in Calcutta University itself, or do I drop a year and then reappear the next year? So thankfully, somewhere my parents also supported me that I should pursue what I want to. So I ended up taking a year's gap after my graduation. And but I was supposed to uh, prepare for my entrance exams in that 1 year, but mostly I'll say that I started reading fiction, non-fiction, non-academic books. So to give a background, I have always like I used to read a lot since as a kid. My earliest memories as a from childhood, earliest childhood memories revolve around my mother reading out books to me, and I used to love it. And even in school, we used to I used to borrow a lot of books and keep reading. So reading was there, but somewhere with the board exams and then college, that habit of reading had somewhere taken a backseat. And in that 1 year, in that one gap year, I had all the time to myself. There were no classes, there were no immediate exams or tests to prepare for. Yes, there was the long run. For me back then, it felt like, oh, the entrances are again a year later, so I have a lot of time to prepare. And meanwhile, I can just read books and uh, have a relaxing time, have spent time with myself. So that was the year I also actually started reviewing books back then. And I had a book review related account on Instagram, wherein I could, in that 1 year, I had built 1,000+ strong audience. And that made me feel really nice. Like that was something that I had personally achieved. And through the year, publishers also started sending me books to review. And that was, I feel, a learning, like a journey for me, in the sense that I did something new for myself, not for it wouldn't be helping in my career or anything. But yeah, that's something, even now when I look back on it fondly. And then next year I got into masters in the University of Hyderabad, or the Central University of Hyderabad. And I got into masters in financial economics. So back then I still thought that I will take a corporate job after my master's. And so I took up financial economics, not because I was actually interested in the subject. I thought that it is something that would help me get a good job. But then going to the University of Hyderabad was a life-changing, like a life-changing moment for me. All this while, I feel like I had lived a very sheltered life. Um, I went to a girls only convent school and then a girls only college, and where it was very disciplined, and my college was literally an extension of school with classes throughout the day and then with some extracurricular activities in between. But um, in Hyderabad, in the university campus, I realized that there's this whole wide world where there's so much active dialogues happening between all kinds of people. There are people who have come from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds, and they have all come to this university to learn from the professors and from each other. Like I want I think not I think I mean I shouldn't be I don't feel bad to accept this fact that before going to the University of Hyderabad, I had very little practical knowledge about the ideas of casteism, reservation. I used to think these are just topics in books. Because I never faced those, I didn't think that those were real. And here in university, there were people who have faced that. There were active, like people, the environment encouraged active dialogues, active conversations to be had on these topics. And not only academically, I think I grew holistically as a person there, both academically and non-academically. And that's where I'm really grateful to the university to, I feel that's why education in a in an environment such as in a central university is very important. So I was there. I also had my little first brush with politics, wherein I was asked to stand for the elections of the class representative, basically. And for the very first time, like I was doing that for the very first time in my life. And it was, I will just look back at it. For starters, I lost the election, but I will look back at it as a fond memory where I had to learn how to, that was also my first brush with public speaking. To also first brush with like listening to people's concerns. And so elections in the university are taken very seriously. So one has the leading to the election, there is a lot of, one have to go and speak to the students and listen to their grievances and come up with ways to solve it. So I feel like that also helped me shape my opinions and my personality. Then towards the my so my master's was between 2018 to 2020. So my last semester of master's coincided with the pandemic, the onset of the pandemic. But I also somewhere I got lucky in the sense that that was a time where people were struggling, especially people in my batch, that people were struggling to get jobs. And I'll give a little background to this. So in our summer break between our second and third semester, we are all encouraged to apply for internships. And I had done an internship in a small startup here in Delhi, who did mostly data consultancy work. So in the next year during the pandemic, they only reached out to me and said that if I would like to help them collect data and help them build a COVID-19 dashboard, wherein the cases and the death and the recovery numbers for each district in India will be updated daily. And my work was basically collecting and cleaning the data, and likewise. So this organization actually had taught me that taught me how to do the basics. They handheld me through all the processes, and therein started my career as such. Uh, so as I had earlier said that I really wanted a corporate job while I was entering my master's. In that next 2 years during my master's in Hyderabad, maybe due to the environment and due to the people I was surrounded with, I realized that maybe I'm more interested in doing research. Um, Maybe that is something I would like to do, but I never got the opportunity as such. Uh, beyond, so I was with this organization, the data consultancy startup. Its name is How India Lives. It's based in New Delhi. So for the next 2 years, from 2020 to 2022, and and mostly I was involved in data processing, data stuff, wherein I was from an economics trained student, I was veering more towards an IT person. So, which I realized that is something that I don't want in my life, want to do as a career. So, and somewhere in the horizon, I had a vague idea that I would want to do a PhD in economics in something, but due to a lack of research experience, I did not know what kind of research I want to do. So again, I started looking out for uh, research roles, if there was any, again, and I applied to various places like JPAL, Mm, then CEW, lots of research, even our research under professors. And then in 2022, in March of 2022, I got through this research analyst role at CSEP, where I have been since working for the past 2.5 years. And somewhere, mm, when I joined the organization, I had never studied urban economics. I joined the urban team, but I had never studied urban economics before that. Uh, and everything was very new to me. But 2 years down the line, I can say that I have learned a lot, and my interest in this field has deepened to and I am also thinking about applying for a PhD in the future. But yes, now I'm still exploring I will say I'm still exploring my interest, and somewhere I stumbled and found created a path. If one asks me what I want to do in the future with a PhD, if I want to teach or I want to go into more policy research focused jobs, I would I would say I still don't have the answer. I will as I take every I mean I will find like I find myself saying that, oh, I will never be able to teach a class, or I'll not be a good teacher. I don't want I'll probably be doing full research in the future. But maybe who knows, that I might also end up liking teaching in the future. So this was my first thing that I wanted to speak on. The second thing is a little bit is the fact that when I say that I work at a research foundation, I work at a think tank. Um, People say that, what is it? Why are you doing research? Um, wh- uh, who is who has asked you to do this project? Like, mostly people in corporates, they are all they think that if only like a project is or a research is done, if it is sanctioned by probably by the government or by some other company or something. So I want to use this platform today to at least put this out, that probably all your audience is probably aware of this, but still I want to put it out that um, in think tanks, in research foundations, not-for-profit research foundations, our research is not um, we we do research because we not because somebody has asked us, but we just want to contribute to the knowledge base of a topic. Our work mostly we try to identify gaps in knowledge, try to come up with questions that no one has asked before, so that with our research, anyone in future who has the same question can refer back to it and come up with even better answers probably. And I say this especially in the context of policy making, that so my work here in CSEP in the last 2 years, I had been working on a research paper analyzing the performance of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban. So many people asked me that people who are unfamiliar with research with this, many people said that why are you just analyzing a scheme out of the blue? Like, did the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs ask you to? And we said no, it is not that. We are uh, doing it so that uh, not only us, but people in future, when now that recently the scheme has also been renewed for the next 2 year, for the its second phase, for another 5 years, they can learn from our research that what are the shortcomings in the previous phase, so that they can implement the next phase better. But it's not like they will pick up our research. We are just putting it out there so that if anyone is interested, they can pick it up. Yeah, that's about it. And if you have any questions, I will be happy to
let
answer.
me just chat with you a bit about
Yeah.
it. Okay. So the first part that you said, I think is fully understandable. Okay. The thing is that today, the older generation may not understand it, but today in India, there are so many opportunities that there is what's it called? FOMO, fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out.
FOMO. FOMO rules. In our time, there was no opportunities. You just had a couple of things. You chose one, you got one, you didn't get one. It's okay. You're done. Okay. You're done for life. Okay. You're stuck in this now. So when there's opportunities, there's bound to be uncertainty about which one suits you the best. Okay. So I won't call it, I haven't made up my mind or anything. I would say, look, I'm an opportunist. I take advantage of opportunities as they come. And I'll give you a very practical example of my own. I set up this channel last year in February or March. Okay. Why? Because 4 years ago, if somebody had said you are going to set up this channel, I would have said, I don't know how to do video. Are you out of your mind? What the hell are you talking about? But then you take advantage that, look, everybody got video savvy in the pandemic. Everybody got webcams and Zoom and Google Meet and all things which we had never heard of. But we got used to it. And also, we got to connect with a lot of people, and a lot of people want to connect with you. So you have a base to work from. Now you have an opportunity, right? That they knew the changes. One sad that you have pandemic, so people are sitting at home just looking to connect with everybody. And the other, that it gives you this new thing which we had no idea. We were senior people were all text based. whether they were writing in newspapers or think tanks or whatever, they were all text-based. Nobody knew what is video. And once in a while, you had a video meeting. It was you had to go to a special room. There was some equipment which never worked properly. And there wasn't sitting at home and just doing it. So the new opportunities come. New opportunities come means seize it, take it. So
Yeah.
why should I preclude? And I say, why should I be a prisoner of my yesterday's thinking? Why? What is so great about being a prisoner of your own past thinking? Why don't you think today? What are my opportunities? What are my options? And do that. So I'm fully in support of stumbling through life. Uh, do what comes in the current opportunity set,
Yeah.
take advantage of it, have a plan B in case that you need it. As you get older, you need a plan B at times, but honestly, you don't need a plan for the future, except that I will take advantage of opportunities as they come. That's a very good plan for the future. Okay. So
Yeah.
there's not
Even
called a plan. It's a meta plan. It's a big plan. It's not a
yeah.
detailed roadmap. And even in many of the things that I do, people say, "What's your roadmap?" I say the only point of a roadmap is to confuse you
I
because you
agree.
will never follow it. Okay, you work for a
Yes.
startup and you know that you can never follow a roadmap. Okay,
Yeah.
just confuses you and makes you a prisoner of your yesterday's thinking. Why do you need a roadmap? Just why don't you globally optimize each day, each week, each month? Optimize, re-optimize, be flexible, make it work in simple language. Okay, so that's, I think, is um, well done. Okay. Second, I think people in India, one of the Vidped speakers long back had said people don't understand that there is a need for research, but they don't give enough money.
I
I
agree.
think that is a sore point in India. Corporate people have no idea of what
Yeah.
knowledge is because they're all for action. They're all
Yes.
for action, right? At that very top, there's somebody who's thinking strategy. And that
Also,
strategy is the place where the direction of the company is laid out. Beyond
also,
that, you do what you are told to do.
yeah, I agree. And also, I believe that somewhere it is also due to the fact that, as you said, there is a lack of funding in research. My classmates who I have graduated with in masters, even those who I had graduated in undergrad, who are in the corporate, probably are earning thrice as much as I am earning. So
Yeah,
somebody who has a lot of personal responsibilities, who would have to, you know, earn a significant amount of money for whatever reasons, uh, will never be able to, even if they want to, will never be able to dedicate their career to research, or
yeah,
maybe even some years to research, because here I think the growth is much more slower and the remuneration much, much lower than what is in the corporates.
yeah. Okay, so corporate life is good. Uh, I have nothing against corporate life, but we have to recognize that corporate life is based on short-term profits. Okay. And you are in here for the long, you're saying somebody will take advantage of my knowledge. So you are very long run, medium run, long run, whereas corporates are very short term. Everything has to happen maybe within 1 or 2 years, maximum,
Yeah.
because beyond that, the tolerance for delay and mistakes and all isn't there, and which is understandable. That's how it is. But here, you are in for the long run, and increasingly, India needs more in the long run. But what is missing in the think tanks, I think, is the ability to communicate their output in simpler terms. I think that's very important
Yeah.
that you communicate not why you are doing it. It's not important, but say, look, I'm not just throwing it out there in the wild for no good reason. There's something there. Okay. And that I will be it could mean something to a policymaker, because think tanks basically, the distinction between think tanks and university research is that university people don't care.
Yeah.
Think tank people are interested in the real world and they are interested in policy. So I think conveying those results in a simpler way, I think, is important. Okay, I've said enough. So please continue whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, no. So I'm almost like, I had made some notes, like some points that I wanted to speak about, and have already spoken about that. Just to add on to what you said, that about having think tanks should put out their work in simpler and more accessible way. That's what I also learned in my last 2 years. My
Mm.
in a think tank space, 2 years is a long time, and
Yes.
but my research work took 2 years. I had been working on the same topic since I joined in 2022, and the paper released in August last month, about 2 months back. And re- researching about it was in one aspect,
Mm.
but writing and presenting it was another. It took almost half a year or more than that to write, rewrite, format, reformat, so that as authors, when we read it, or even as people who are familiar with economics, have been studying it for so long, when we read it, it seems that everything is very intuitive. But when a person who is not familiar with the topic, when they read it, it is very, very dense for them. And the past 1 year almost, we have been trying to write and rewrite our work so that it is accessible and understandable by everyone, so that people who are not familiar with the topic of, say, affordable housing or housing for the urban poor, can also pick it up and read it, while it also helps people who are in the domain, who are the experts, who are completely aware. So there's all I have been taught how to toe that fine line of writing, fine line of writing, so that it is accessible to everybody. But yeah, I, I'll say it, I'm probably I, it doesn't come naturally to me. I
Mm.
still tend to fall back on academic style of writing,
Mm.
which I have been taught in my college. And
Mm.
yeah,
All right.
so it's also
Okay.
something that
All right.
I'm
Great.
learning.
Okay. Anything else you want to add here?
Hmm, I don't, nothing that comes to my mind. But because I had spoken about reading, I wanted to ask you, sir, what is your favorite book of this year? Or what is that book that you have read recently that has left a deep effect or on you?
Okay. I must admit failure. I cannot answer because these days I am unfortunately so busy producing my own output that I haven't had the time to read anybody else's output. Because I'll discuss some of that with you offline. But the simple answer is that I haven't had the time to sit down as I used to read um, something that is deep and profound. And I'm too tied up putting out. I mean, these Vidpeds take half my day almost every day. And there are many other things. Actually, I don't have, at this age, I should be somewhat retired. People say doing things to pass time. I am actually short of time. Last night I was working till 11 o'clock at night. I don't have time. But in return, I have many, many activities of different types. And I'm actually keen to produce output, which should be a little bit balanced with reading also. But the reading, I must say, has gone by the wayside, and especially fiction has completely vanished from my reading, which was there all the time. But these days, for whatever reason, social and work-wise, I actually don't have time. So I haven't read anything.
I can relate. I these days I buy more books than read them, but yes, that's the conundrum that every reader faces. To
Actually,
buy
it's worse than that. I actually, even in the newspaper articles, sometimes I don't read beyond the headlines and para one, because I really feel that I just need to write to do my own output. And let's talk about that offline, but that's the
Sure.
answer. Okay. All right. Anything else?
No,
All right, good. Let's end this. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye everybody.